So I'm going to camp out in the forest tonight, and I will go there now and begin to build some kind of a shelter, and then I will come back later this evening, but without a dog, because we shaved him recently and it's gonna be cold and we don't have a sleeping bag for him. So let's search for a place where I can begin to build a shelter. I think that I want to use a tree that has fallen down, but I don't know which one to choose yet. And I want it to be close to more materials that I can gather. A little tips, this is a dead standing tree. You can see it's got no branches over there. The bark is starting to fall off. So if you need to gather firewood, you should chop this or saw this down, because it's above the ground, then it's not getting wet. Yahee! I would like it to be a place that's kind of hidden. Ooh. I saw this big boulder, and this looks to be like a perfectly little hideout for an animal. It looks like there has been some animal like cleaning the way, but I can't see any footsteps here. I think this is just from the snow, but maybe something's sleeping inside. Okay, so I think I have found a place where I want to set up camp over there. So I've taken off my jacket, not get too sweaty, and then I'm gonna put down this little tree. It's quite rotten, and start gathering some materials. Okay, Ulla. So we got our first little stick, or quite a big stick for our shelter. It's gonna be, I can stand under here. But we'll see, I maybe will lower it a bit. But I don't want this to be just a survival shelter, but more of a chill camp shelter. Look, we're gonna have some inhabitants in our camp. Where is Pappan? Alright, so now I have gathered some more sticks and put them up here. I've decided to make it a bit lower to the ceiling, because it's gonna be easier to build then. I mean, I could be satisfied with this and then just put a tarp over it, and that would be totally fine, but it would be fun to only have natural materials in the build. So the tools I have today is I have a belt, and then I have my little saw, and then I have my Gränsfors Bruk axe. I should get a real bushcraft belt maybe. It would be nice to have some like loops to put the axe through, not just like this. Then I have a little stainless steel bottle in my pocket, and this for my dog. So this is the next day, and I'm gonna sleep in the camp tonight. I decided that I wanted to film more in daylight and continue building some more on the camp. So I'm gonna sleep outside today instead. And Julle is with me now, but Freya is gonna come and get him later. so he can sleep inside in our warm house instead. Probably gonna sleep in our bed. But yeah, I got some more gear with me today. Alright, see you in the camp. So, update. I have arrived at camp and I put up my rucksack like this. I will see if it holds or if it will break. I also found a little rock, i en rotvälta, which I can use for a little fireplace, I think. The brave doggo going under the tree. Oopsie poopsie. I've started to windproof and waterproof the house. Right now we're having a bit of a break and I'm eating a little sandwich. And then I think we're gonna go and look for some small rocks for a fireplace.
Fire! Burn! Yes!
Usually you can find some rocks sticking out of these rotvälta. So we're starting to get somewhere. It's still not weatherproof or rainproof, but at least it's a little bit sheltering. If this were a survival situation, I would take green pine branches. Those are better for getting more isolation, and it would get more waterproof. Wanna go in and look? Yeah, go in and look. Hey, guppy. You can go inside, then you can see that it's not waterproof yet, but it's getting there. It's quite big, so I think it's gonna be comfortable to stay here. So this is my cutting block, and I put the sticks right there, and you have to move a bit. I don't wanna chop you like a chicken. Okay, and then you put it there, and then. Okay, so it's starting to get dark, so I'm focusing on gathering all the materials that I will not be able to find when it's dark. And I spoke to the landowner and she told me that it's okay that I take the branches of these fallen trees. They have done a clear cut over there. So when the wind started to blow through the clear cut, her trees started falling down. Alright, it's 6 o'clock and it's quite dark now, as you can see. Put on some of the pine branches, and now I'm gonna work on the door, or the opening, so the wind doesn't blow straight in. But I also want to be able to have a little campfire over here, so I can dry my clothes and stuff, and keep warm during the night. But I have managed to get it quite cozy in there, and soon the little dog is gonna go home to sleep in the warm and dry house. Okay, I have some kind of a plan to make a raised bed So I'm gonna use these 2 logs and then put smaller branches horizontally over those. And then put a mattress and an air-filled mattress. Alright, now I have sawed up a bunch of sticks to the right length. And I'm gonna put it in the shelter and try it out. Well, now I put the sticks on the bed frame and it looks quite nice. I put the nicest ones up here because it's gonna be most weight on my upper body and I will use my elbows to like move around and stuff, so I don't want it to break up there. And now let's test it out with a mattress. Yeah, it's actually quite nice. I think it's gonna be perfect with because I'm gonna put one more mattress on. Now you can feel the sticks, you can feel like the little bumps, but it's not like terrible. It's almost like a massage bed. I'll just have to teach some little cockroaches to run under my bed so it like moves the boards. Then it's gonna be like a real massage bed. The next addition to this house is gonna be a little wall here in front of the opening. And it's gonna act both as a wind stopper, so that doesn't just blow in wind here. And also, when I have my campfire here, it's going to reflect heat back into the shelter. Ta-da! Alright, now it's done. I've sharpened the ends on these sticks and then hammered them down with the axe. With the dull side of the axe, not that one, you know? And then I've sawed off some thicker pieces of wood and stack them up. So now they protect from wind coming here. And the fire or the heat from the fire is gonna reflect into the shelter. Now I'm searching for some rocks for my campfire. And I think I got one right here, so I'm gonna try to dig it out. Alright, so I found some rocks. I may reassemble them in a different way later, but I think I want to light a fire because my gloves are completely soaked and got a bit muddy when I dug after rocks. Alright, so I have some of these fine pine branches, really fine. And then I got some birch bark. And I really need to get like a chair or something. Okay. All right, so now the camp is, you could call it finished. And I can relax a bit more because now I have somewhere to sleep. And I got a little bed over there and a fire. So now I can calm down and Freya was here and got the dog. I'm gonna wait a bit so it had burned down a bit. Then I'm gonna start to cook some food. And for dinner tonight we got Findus. Vegetable soup, and then I had some nuts to eat, but I didn't have any chocolate, so it was no trail mix. But Freya delivered some marabou, which I got up here in the ceiling. Then I got a little kosa with some tea, and this little chocomonk, which you can use with this. So I think I'm gonna use this to cook the noodles. And then I'm gonna put the vegetable soup and the noodles together. I got some water in the backpack, which I can put in. gonna put all of it in, I think. I'm pretty hungry. The extra water. I got some extra water. I just remembered that I didn't bring any spoon. But I think I can use my kåsa as a spoon. All right. Bon appetit. That was that. Det blir inte roligare än så här. I didn't think that I was gonna be able to eat all of it, but I was hungry. But I've been out a couple hours and working on this shelter today also. So I guess I needed some energy. I think I'm gonna rinse it off with some water and then I'm gonna make some tea. That sounds like a plan, right? The firewood, almost all of it is a bit wet. So I'm trying to dry it out. And I'm gonna be sitting here all the time, so if it starts to burn in the closest logs, I'm just gonna put it out or put it in the fire. I'm gonna try to dry out my socks a bit. The clock is 10:47 and I'm gonna make some tea water. I mean, it's nice to play survival games, but this is something else. Because, I mean, the stress, you get a little bit stressed when you see it, that it gets darker and darker and darker. And you know that, like, you're gonna sleep as you make the bed, as you say. So it's another kind of stress than playing a game, and then another kind of satisfaction when you actually manage to build a little base, a little shelter to sleep in. I don't know how many degrees it is outside right now, but I think it's pretty cold. I'm pretty sure the water is boiling, so time to put it in the kåsa. Now it's 1 o'clock and I'm just gonna get ready for bed, and then I'm gonna curl up in my little sleeping bag and hope that I don't freeze tonight. Now I'm snuggled up in my little sleeping bag and I got my pillow, and it's time to say nighty night, see you tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. It's 7 o'clock and it's been an okay night. It's been cold it's been like on the edge of being too cold, or it has been just a bit too cold with this sleeping bag and setup. It's just been like just a bit too cold at the feet, and felt like it was like coming in cold air from the top of the sleeping bag. I think that if I would have taken two sleeping bags and then put them into each other, that it would be really nice. Because we only have summer sleeping bags and autumn sleeping bags. We don't have any winter sleeping bags. I really liked this bed. I'm happy I made this. It's really nice to have something like flat to lay on. I think I'm gonna go up soon and make a cup of tea over the fire, which I have to start, and then I will clean up the camp a bit, gather the sticks that I haven't used for the shelter, so it looks nice here. Alright, let's get the fire going. So I got some birch bark at the bottom, and then I got some of these fine sticks from a pine, and then I got a little bigger sticks from a pine. Look what a little curious thing has happened to my water. You know it's cold when your water turns to ice. I'm thinking that I'm gonna boil it a bit with some water first and then rinse it out and hope that it's okay to make some tea water in it after that, because I haven't washed my dishes. I'm gonna have some Pukka 3 ginger organic, and let's offer this to the gods. So this is breakfast, and then I have some Marabou chocolate also. Now I have packed up and are ready to go. But before I go, I'm gonna clean up the sticks around my camp a bit. Gotta leave it tidy, you know.